Hello everyone again, welcome back. I hope you and your families are all still doing well. Today we're going to do work on the lungs, seeing the lungs, or what COVID-19 seems to really affect if it gets deep into the body. So what we're going to be doing today is breathing, a guided breathing practice, and two movements that are going to assist in your breathing. So you can use these if you don't have COVID-19, you can do them if you have problems with your lungs. Hopefully they'll be helpful for you. The breathing, basically, I just want to talk a little bit about that first. Breathing is a big subject, and so today we're really going to be only focusing on using the apex of the diaphragm. The breathing content we could go into has so much depth, but we're just going to focus on the apex and the relationship between the mind and the nervous system and how they both affect each other, and how we can relax our nerves and let go of our nerves to affect our breathing so our breath just becomes natural. You feel you've had a few questions about the bounce and you weren't sure if you was actually getting the bounce coming from your hips or your knees, and you weren't quite actually sure if you were doing it properly. So there's something I might want to do that will help you have that distinction whether you're doing it from your hips or your knees. So the same stance as before, you slide your hands down your groin creases. So your groin creases are here where your pelvis meets your body. If you slide down until you come into two what feel like holes or fosses, what they're called really. There's two spaces there. So if you slide down to there, and then what we're going to do from the side, in the same alignment, you're going to fold from this area with your weight forward. You're just going to fold slightly from there, which is going to give you a slight bend. Now when you bend, it's going to put more pressure into the front of the foot. So you just check then in that bend that your heel's still down, and then start to bounce through here. And it only wants to be quite small. So the bounce is going through and it's going to hit the heels. Exactly the same. From the front. And also this, remember I said in the earlier video, that the femoral artery comes through here. So what this is going to do, it's going to get more pressure onto that artery as well, which is going to push the blood through to the feet. Okay, I hope that's helpful. So I just want to talk a little bit about the anatomy of your lungs. So your diaphragm, if he taps down his sternum, when it comes to the soft bit, basically that is the apex of your diaphragm. Right when you come off the hard sternum onto the soft bit, that's where the apex of the diaphragm is. Then the diaphragm, it follows the outline of the rib cage. So from the side, so then it comes down from the apex and it comes down, and then comes all the way around into the back. So if we come round to the side again, Alex. Mm-hmm. So it's like a dome-shaped muscle that goes right through. So as you can see, it's a big muscle. So when we start doing this breathing today, we're only going to be working through the apex. Because breathing, as I said, is a big subject. So we're just going to work with this part of the diaphragm. Most people tend to breathe through their upper chest. And so when you start to breathe through here, you may find that it actually feels a little bit uncomfortable at times. Just because it's a muscle and it gets tight. It can have spasms in it. So when you breathe into this area, make sure you breathe really gently. The lung itself, the apex of the lung is here, this area, and goes all the way down there. So they're like big bags. They cover a lot of the trunk, you know. So yeah, that's the anatomy of the lung. Before we start the breathing practice, I just want to talk a little bit about the relationship between our mind, nervous system and breath. A good example of how these are interrelated and connected is that if we're put in a situation what we find really relaxing, where our bodies, our nervous system, our blood vessels and nerves open, our breathing just becomes really natural on its own. We don't have to think about it, we're in a good space, our mind's calm. The opposite end of the stick is if we're put in a situation what makes our nervous system and blood vessels close. In turn, what this will do is shorten our breath, and in turn what this will do is make our minds really active. This can happen or go either way. The mind can get really active, or the nerves get, it can go either way. And the symptoms or the sensations of when this happens, they can either be of anxiety, or it could be the opposite, where we get low in spirit, where our energy gets, we can become tired and low in spirit. So this can go either way. So with natural breathing, we're not really looking to control our breath. We're not really looking to focus on the breath too much, because that will just become another thing that can make us tense. The way we do this is that when we do this practice, it's best to start lying down so we have a contact with the ground. Because what we're going to be doing, we're going to be using our sense of feeling, our felt sense, to feel parts of the body. And when we get a contact with these parts of the body, we're going to start to let go. And as we let go of these parts of the body, what we should find is that the nerves, the muscles start to let go, which in turn will make your breath become natural. And this is a great way of getting into a natural breath. In terms of the how much you breathe, if this is if we make this a breathing stick, a measurement, if your inhale starts here and comes all the way down to here, we'd say this is 100%. On the exhale, if you're exhaling from here and you come all the way up to here, that's 100%. What we're looking to do is stay in the range of 70%. So as we come down, we're going to stop around 70%, and as we exhale, we're going to come up and stop around 70%. So we're going to stay in this 70% range. In and out, in and out. But like I say, this is not really a breathing practice. It's much more related to letting go of the body. So we create a natural breath. So the posture when you're lying down, the position you want to be in is you're laid flat. If you want, you can put a cushion on the back of your head to support your neck if it's more comfortable. Alex, you want a cushion?
Oh, right.
It's okay. So your hands are going to come on to your apex of your diaphragm. You see where Alex has put his hands now. That's where your hands want to be. So your hands give you a guide of where you're going to be breathing from. So that's important, that we're giving our mind a signal as to where we're going to be breathing from. Your legs are going to bend and your feet are going to go flat on the floor. Both legs. And just get them in the most comfortable position that you can. And what this does, it's going to push your back into the floor. It's going to give you a sense that your whole back is in contact with the floor. So it must feel really comfortable. Your spine, back flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor. So once you're in that position, you slowly close your eyes and you bring your sense of feeling onto your nostrils. And what you're doing is you're feeling the breath go in your nose, you're feeling the breath come out your nose. So remember, we're breathing to 70%. We never fully breathe in and we never fully breathe out. So breathing in, breathing out. We're not doing anything with the diaphragm just yet. I want you to settle into your breath and just become aware of it, just present to your breath. You don't have to do anything with your breath whatsoever. All you're doing is feeling it, the quality of it. Breathing in and breathing out. So the things you're looking for is if your breath is hard or is it jerky. Does it stutter? Do you get stuck breathing in? Do you get stuck breathing out? Is it easier to breathe in? Is it easier to breathe out? All these things, it's just information that you're recognizing as you breathe. So first of all, remember, we're getting that 70% breath where we never fully breathe in, we never fully breathe out. All the time, taking in information on the quality of your breath. So the first thing we're going to do once we've got that 70% breath is we're going to make our breath smooth. So your breath wants to smoothly enter your nose, as smooth as you can. And then it's smoothly going to exit. In and out. Just do a few breaths like that, 4 or 5 breaths, just knowing each breath, you're softening the breath as it comes in, you're softening the breath as it goes out. The second thing is we want to make the breath soft. So you want the breath to become really soft as you can. Smooth and soft. So as you breathe like this, just start to recognize how your breath is. Is it jerky still? Is it hard to breathe out? Is it hard to breathe in? Is it hard to make it soft? Is it hard to make it smooth? It's information for you about your breathing and the quality of your breath. So remember, the nervous system of the body is very much connected to the breath. So if we carry on breathing like this through the nose, what we want to do now is bring our sense of feeling onto the soles of our feet. So you're feeling the floor, where your feet contact the floor. And you're feeling the contact of your foot on the floor. So keeping your breath, just as we said, smooth and soft. When you start to exhale, see if you can start to soften your feet on your exhale. So breathe it in, smooth and soft. As you exhale, soften your feet. Let your feet become soft. Softening your feet all the time as you exhale. Softening your feet. Softening the muscles in the feet. And just notice the effects this has on your breath through softening muscles, through softening your nerves. So the next contact of the body we've got on the floor are the buttock muscles, your hips, your sacrum, and your tailbone, if you can feel that. But you can feel the whole of your pelvis that has contact with the floor. So once again, bring your mind onto the floor where you contact, and then see if you can start to feel the tissue there in your spine, the lower spine, the sacrum, and just let your mind settle onto this area as you breathe, smooth and soft. Mind settle there. On your next exhale, let your buttock muscles soften. Let the tension in your hips sink into the floor. Each exhale, softening that area, keeping your mind there. So as you exhale, you're letting go of the tissue around that area. Do that for a few breaths. And start to notice again the effects this has on your breathing. It's information for you. of how it affects your breath. So then if we divide the spine into three, the occiput being the top, and the lower spine at the top of the pelvis being the bottom. If you just divide that into three the best you can, so we do the lower portion first, same again, you're feeling your back muscles, feeling your lower spine, let your mind feel this area. You don't have to feel deep, just where you contact the floor. The same process again, as you exhale, release the muscles, let the muscles soften. If you can, let your spine soften as well. All the time making your breath smooth and soft. Your breath wants to become really quiet. Like a deep moving ocean. Really deep. And when you exhale, remember, letting go of the muscles in the lower back, letting go of the spine. Just a couple more breaths there. And then we move up to the middle portion. The same thing again. Your mind onto that part of your body that contacts the floor. And each exhale, softening the muscles, softening the spine. Softening the muscles, softening the spine, relaxing your nerves. And again, notice the effects it's having on your breathing. You don't have to do anything with it. The fact that you're relaxing your nerves is going to soften your breath and make it longer and deeper. A couple more on the middle there. And then we move up to the upper in your own time. So you can feel your shoulder blades, the spine, the muscles between the shoulder blades, the neck, the back of the head. Bringing your mind, because you've got contact, you can feel that part of your body. Feel, and you exhale, soften. Soften the muscles, soften the bones. Keeping your breath at 70% the best you can. You're not fully breathing in, you're not fully breathing out. It should automatically start happening as you let go of your nervous system. Breathing in, breathing out, softening the muscles, softening the spine. Now see if you can feel the whole thing, including your feet. So feet, your whole back, the spine. Each exhale, you're softening the whole thing. Keep softening. And as you keep softening, what we're going to do now is make the breath continuous. So remember, you never fully breathe in, you never fully breathe out. The mind tends to drift away at the change between the inhale, the exhale, and the inhale. So what I want you to do now is really focus on that point. And see if you can make one change into the other really smooth. Keep relaxing the nerves, keep relaxing your back. And see if you can make this breath smooth, soft, and continuous. The most important thing is that you just keep relaxing your back. soft and continuous. Smooth, soft, continuous, softening the muscles, relaxing the back. So natural breath, natural breathing, that's what we're doing. Through relaxation, through letting go. If it doesn't feel like your diaphragm's working now, your diaphragm should be working with what we've just done. If it's not and your hands are on the top of your diaphragm, the apex still, just see if you, when you're breathing in, that you can expand the apex of your diaphragm without your chest coming out. And as you exhale, just see if you can let the back relax again. So you can feel the apex of the diaphragm expanding as you breathe in, going back to its natural state as it comes back up, the back relaxing. The diaphragm was probably working already, naturally, just through letting go. Smooth, soft, continuous breathing. Through letting go of your nerves, through relaxation. The smooth, soft, continuous breathing will happen naturally if you let go. Let go of the nerves, all that part of your body that have contact with you. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. All the time relaxing your nerves. What I want you to recognise now is what we did at the beginning. Just feel the quality of your breathing. And how it's changed from when we started. Is it smoother? Is it softer? Has it affected your mind? Is your mind calmer? Is it more tense? Slowly open your eyes, go back in the room. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction to natural breathing. Natural breathing could be a great way of getting your body and your mind and your breath to relax through these interesting times you're in. Please feel free to forward these videos on. They can be very helpful for people. Yeah, stay safe.